Hey everyone, today I'm reviewing NVU Summer Envy Tanning Mousse, and this is in the medium shade. I gave this self-tanning mousse 2.25 out of 5 stars, so in my opinion it wasn't even average. There wasn't too much I liked about it, but the color it produced was okay. This is a mousse, but it comes out so watery. It wasn't mousse-like at all to me. There was no foaminess at all to the product. When you shoot it out, it literally comes out a liquid like water. So that made it difficult to apply, and it is dark brown in color, almost black color. So it does have a dark guide to it. It is supposed to be a mousse though, so I think something is wrong with their formula. It just doesn't foam at all. So that made applying it really hard. I used a self-tanning mitt, but still when I'd pump it out, it'd roll right off the mitt onto my floor. And what didn't roll onto the floor was just quickly absorbed into the mitt before I even got a chance to rub it on. If you've used a mousse before, a good mousse will kind of just sit on top of the mitt until you start blending it in. But this one just kind of came out watery and got all over the place. It was so messy. And since it has a dark guide, it got in my grout on the floor, and it was just really a pain to clean up. Wasn't a fan of that at all. I would definitely use a self-tanning mitt when using this one to protect your palms. Also, it'd be so hard not to use a mitt because it would just run through your fingers. The drying time was about 40 minutes, and while I waited for it to dry, it was really, really sticky on my skin. So the drying time I wasn't too pleased with. It took longer than average, and it was sticky. I hate that sticky feeling. It makes me feel like greasy and gross. And you can't touch anything while you're waiting for this one to dry just because of the dark guide in it. The color is sun-produced, so this is the medium shade, and it says right here on the back to leave it on 2 hours for a light tan, 4 hours for like a medium tan, and 8 hours for a dark tan. So I left mine on overnight, and I woke up in the morning, washed the guide off, and I did have a dark tan. I was happy with it. You can leave it on less than 8 hours if you don't want a dark tan, but I was happy with the tan, but it had a little bit of an orange hue to it. So I know that some of you won't be happy with it if you have a certain skin tone. To me, I didn't mind the orange hue that much, but I know that some of you out there will mind it. It was just a tiny bit orangey, but on my skin tone, it wasn't bad, and I didn't mind it at all. So it was a dark color. I did like it. It was even on my skin. It lasted about 4 to 5 days, and as it faded, it got so splotchy. It was really gross looking on my skin. It was scaly, kind of like reptilian looking, and it just didn't fade nicely at all. This is one of the ones that faded really poorly, and you could tell that you had self-tan just because of how my skin looked as the tan faded. So I wasn't really happy with that. It produces a decent color, but that's really the only thing I liked about this self-tanner. The smell is really, really bad. It smells like DHA, very, very strongly of DHA. By the next morning, I woke up and the smell was so much worse. My skin smelled burned. It was just a very strong DHA smell, and it was just not good. I couldn't wait to shower the product off in the morning. So men, I don't think you'll really like this one. I think that there's other products that produce a similar color, but the smell's better, the drying time's better, and the application is easier than this one. So overall, I ended up giving this one 2.25 out of 5 stars. And I forgot to mention that this one is on the pricier side. It's $31, but once you factor in shipping to the US, it gets to $50, and this is a 6.7 ounce bottle, so that works out to $7.40 an ounce, which isn't the end of the world, but it definitely is on the pricier side, especially for a product that isn't even up to average standard in my opinion. So I wouldn't pay that again. So overall, I ended up giving this self-tanner 2.25 out of 5 stars, and for more information on this self-tanner as well as many others, please visit us online at SelfTanning.com and on Facebook and Twitter.